Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Halloween channel. The episode starts with Gigi sitting in class, thinking about how, over time, a lot of things come to her mind. She looks at Yoro and Kiefer and she can't figure out her feelings. Who does she really want? She's completely lost in thought, but the teacher comes over and stops her, asking her about what he was explaining, and she has no idea how to answer at all. She says she still has questions she doesn't know the answers to at all. And then break time comes right away. Kiefer comes to tell her that they're going on a date, but she just walks away, and Yuri offers to give her a ride, but she keeps walking anyway. She decides to avoid both of them for a while, especially since they can't stand each other at the moment. So we move to Xian, who's arranging his toys in Gigi's room. When she comes in, he nags her to go buy more toys, but she completely refuses. He keeps begging her, and she realizes that he really knows how to nag and just wants her to buy him things he wants for himself. He gets really upset, grabs his stuff to leave her room, and decides he's going to give her the silent treatment. But she agrees to buy it for him so he'll stop nagging her, and she decides to take him with her instead of going alone, but he refuses and wants her to go buy it herself. She feels like she's gonna go broke because of him. She brings money with her because she's going to buy it for him after all, and she gets ready to leave. She finds messages from Koffer asking where she's going tomorrow, and Yuri also has the same question. She feels like they're both really annoying her, so she leaves to go buy what she wants, so she goes to pick out exactly what he wants. But suddenly, David shows up and startles her because she was already scared of him, and he tells her that he'll get it for her at his own expense. So she immediately goes to pick it out since he's going to get it for her now. Suddenly, he messages her because he wants his drink, which she was already getting anyway. So David brings it to her, and she tells him that she came to get this. CN is currently alone because his mind is really busy these days. So he tells her that these are just random thoughts anyway. Suddenly, Kaffer messages her and wants to know where she is, but she doesn't care because they're just friends, nothing more. And David realizes this, thinks they're together, and it really shocks him. She goes and gives him a hard time and makes fun of him. He focuses on her because of what she's doing, but then he notices the necklace and sees that it actually has a ring on it. She says that it's hers, but she still can't wear it yet. She remembers that he was the one who gave her that necklace since someone delivered it to her, and she wants to know who that person is. She keeps wanting an idea, but he says that she knows everyone from his imaginary personality, and that Percy was the one who gave it to her and sent it, and she wants him to try to contact him in any way. She keeps begging him because she really wants to get in touch with him. He takes a picture of her so he can respond quickly and sends it to her. And indeed, he sends her a message and tells her that she will take the ring off the necklace instead of killing Yuri when he returns, which really shocks her. Time passes and a long time goes by, and Cien is scared of her terrifying appearance. She starts thinking about why Percy gave it to her, and Cien keeps making fun of her appearance all the time. He goes to get her phone, the one he threw away, which is currently ringing. But she got rid of it because she couldn't find any answers, and it turns out that Kiefer is the one calling her. She's reserved because she doesn't respond to him, and that's why she's afraid, and he asks her if she can go to the store with Iman. That's what she confirms, and he gets very happy and hangs up right away. So Sin won't come with him because he's going to Rocky and his sister, so she'll go alone. He goes into the bathroom before her to annoy her as usual, then leaves to go to Reki. She wishes Iman would come to her, but she finds that there are guys already waiting for her. She thinks they're going to get into a fight with them again, but Iman comes and decides to take her with him. He thinks they're going to get into a fight, so they just leave right away. So they go to the store together so she can pick out food items for the class. She keeps nosing around with the person she's with and goes to pick out even more things. She feels like things are fine now and she won't see Kaffer again. She imagines things as she's walking, gets scared, and then feels relief because it was just her imagination, nothing more. And literally, as she keeps walking, she sees Yuro and Kaffer everywhere. She decides to leave the whole place, so she walks away. Suddenly, Kaffer actually shows up and she's shocked by what she sees. She brings him those sweets he likes and he confronts her, saying he loves sweets, but she's a different kind of sweet, especially her lips. He focuses on her and she gets really shy, but she ignores it and refuses to respond to him because she hasn't been talking to him these past few days. He starts thinking he did something wrong and they argue about who should push the shopping cart. They both hold the cart together and she lets him pick out the products he wants. Then she decides they're done and goes to pay. He tells her that he found out something about her father and then he leaves right away. So she goes shopping for everything with Iman, and she laughs because Sin is with Rocky at the moment, and they're all happy together. They decide to take some photos and really enjoy themselves like this. They notice that Sin is having a good time, unlike them, and they all joke around together. She tells them to go ahead and leave first, and that she'll catch up with them later. Suddenly, Kafir turns on her and wants them to go together so he can tell her what he found out about her father. So she goes with him to his house and she notices that he uses different cars every day and wants a different one herself. She sees that he has a lot of cars and is even willing to give her his entire house. But she leaves Yuri and he reminds her that she belongs to him and only him. He affects her, but she tells him that none of this is real right now. That's why he decides to change it and make it real, so that she will always be his. She is deeply affected and leaves immediately. She goes to see her friends at home and they're having a good time, teasing her about the kiss that happened between her and Kafir. That's why she goes to Klex, who is sitting quietly. So he asks Adrix to bring a picture of her father, who is in America and an important businessman there. She gathers a lot of pictures and starts thinking about being with Percy, and that the two of them are together. Klex is shocked that they're together. But that's the most information they could find. He doesn't know if the two of them are together, and he really doesn't know the truth at all. She is shocked, and everyone feels sorry for her. She keeps thinking about all the questions she has inside her right now and how she needs answers. But Kafir reassures her, promising that even if there are many questions, he'll stay with her and find her the answers. She thanks him for helping her find her father, then she leaves and keeps thinking about what happened over and over again. She is sad. Wisdom notices this and she starts crying, not knowing what happened. And that's why she tells him that she discovered something about her father. And instead of being happy, she feels sad because their situation is very complicated, but he tries to comfort her and goes to joke around with her to cheer her up. He tells her that his mother said she wants to buy him his own apartment and that they want him to become independent. And he thinks that's for the best because he was always alone and she wants to help him and be with him, but she gets annoyed with him because he's a mess and literally ruins any place he goes to. She argues with him and he leaves right away. So she sends David a message telling Percy to disappear from her side again and that she won't care about him at all. He's confused and sends Percy the same message, thinking about this friend of his, and calls him, so Percy comes to him right away. And he feels like he can't blame her. But David doesn't want Kafur to find out what happened, because if he does, he won't let him get close to her again. And that's why he thanks him for caring about Jiagai. That's because he's looking out for his friend in America and reassuring him about her, but he cares about Jiagai and doesn't want to fall in love with her at all. He wants to go back quickly and feels sad. So his mother goes to get him some food and refuses to let him return to his country again, because right now he needs to take care of his health and stay away from anything bad because of what happened to him there. And suddenly his father shows up, who turns out to be Jiagai's father. This is a surprise, which means Percy is actually Jiagai's brother. So Siam goes to get ready because he's about to leave. And suddenly Yuri calls her and wants them to go to church together. He's already on his way to her and basically ropes her into it. At this point, Kafir calls her and wants to know what she's up to, but she goes to get dressed and he finds out she's going out with Yuri. He allows her to go but tells her not to be late and she leaves right away. They see this as her getting closer to him, so she goes with him to church, but she still can't imagine herself getting married. And there's no other option because her family needs this. He laughs at her because she thought he would go to a pub since he's Japanese and all that. He laughs at her. Suddenly, a lot of girls start coming around and are attracted to him. She feels like she's beneath him and doesn't understand why they're all fighting over her like that. But he boosts her confidence, telling her she's everything he wants and better than all of them. They agree to do it, so they go to his house. She goes and sees those pictures, and he brings her favorite food, the one she still remembers from a long time ago. She enjoys looking at his old photos from back in the day. And of course, she laughs at him. He talks about memories from the past. He used to draw with them back then and she gets emotional, but this ends up being the last picture between them. The conversation fades away and he takes her to help prepare the food. But here, she hits him because he said something that meant she was a cow. She remembers the old days and he was just joking anyway. She says she misses being friends with him because she feels things are complicated now. But he goes on to teach her more things and more Japanese words. And she's happy that she's able to say them well. He keeps teaching her a lot of things until he says he loves her in Japanese and she's completely shocked. He quickly kisses her and she reciprocates. But suddenly she gets hurt and as soon as she sees blood, a lot of things come to her mind and her phobia comes back again. He doesn't understand what's going on and wants her to call Kafur. And she keeps crying a lot. And of course he feels sad for her. So time passes and he goes to comfort her here, checks on her, and she apologizes to him because she shouldn't have said what happened. But he accepts it because he's still her friend. And she said that because he knows what happened to her a long time ago, and that there are bad things that happen to her every time she sees blood. And she thought that this was a phobia, but the situation escalated and she started hurting those around her. and no matter how hard she tries to remember, she can't recall how it happened to her. And this happened to her in many situations and she couldn't control herself. And Kafir knew about it, and that's why she told him to call him, but he refuses to break off the engagement because he loves her, and it will stay like this forever, so don't overthink it. She will discover this herself over time, and she just wants to feel at ease. He kisses her here, and he really is a good person who cares about her. She goes and blames herself because of the chaos inside her, so he takes her home and thanks her for the day they enjoyed together. And when tomorrow comes, they find out that she is going to leave with the CN. He goes to say goodbye to her, and they leave right away, and she feels relieved here. But suddenly, Kafir comes to her immediately, forcefully takes her, and they leave together. So he gets out, upset with her, wanting to know what she did with Yuri. She says that she went to the church and they cooked together. She tells him all that, and he wants to know everything that happened afterward. He is very affected, and she doesn't want to lie to him. But she says that he kissed her, and she doesn't know if she's doing this to him because they belong to each other. So what they're doing to each other. But she says that he knows her situation, so he shouldn't pressure her. He starts confronting her about whether she really loves Yuri or not. So she confirms it and says that she does love him. That's why she accepted the engagement. From here, he starts confronting her about their kiss on New Year's Eve, which is what brought her here now. And he wants to know what he means to her. He keeps pressuring her until she yells at him and admits that she's not sure about what's happening. But the right thing is for her to be with Yuri because of the engagement. And she can't bear to hurt anyone else because of her, even if he's still on her mind. That's why he goes and cries, telling her that he was the one who was always worried about her and everything she went through. Unlike Yuri, he doesn't understand what's going on or how she could see him as weak just because he was raised without a mother, his father abandoned him, and he raised his siblings on his own. And she doesn't want to leave him at all because he truly loves her. That's why she hugs him and they both cry together. He says that he doesn't care about anything even if they choose Yuri. But he doesn't want anyone but her, and here he confesses his love for her. And Fee says that what Kafir said wasn't a question, but she already knew the answer. And Fee says that she loves him too and hugs him right away. They both cry together and she comforts him. They focus on each other and she has finally chosen Kafir. So what about Yuri now? That's what we'll find out in the next part. Subscribe my dears and follow us and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part. And we'll find out what happens with Kafir and Yuri. Goodbye.